Hey teens, Lauren here with Bizrok. In this week's video, we're gonna talk about overcoming cost and financial objections. Guys, look, I know every practice deals with this, and there's always gonna be some of those patients who they can never afford it or feel like it's always too much. But guys, it starts with us, okay? Oftentimes whenever I see team members struggling with overcoming financial objections, it's usually an us thing. And here's what I mean. Sometimes, or let me ask you this. Have you ever been presenting a treatment plan to a patient that was really, really expensive? And I'm talking like 20, 30, 40, even $60,000 cases. And you looked at that treatment plan and you're like, wow, that's really expensive. Guys, if you don't value the type of work that your practice does, I promise you that will come across to the patient. Guys, people every single day overspend on things that have no return on an investment. Now, if you don't know where the ROI is with the type of services that your practice provides and the type of work that your doctor does, then I would ask for a one-on-one. Just say, Doc, I know I'm newer to dentistry or I've always focused on things up front, but I want to understand the value that goes into some of the perio work that we do. Like I see that we do all these crazy surgeries, and I gotta be honest, I don't know what any of them mean. Can you educate me? Can you show me? Because I feel like it's really expensive, but I want to believe in the value that you provide. Can you walk me through what that looks like? Right? So it starts with us. It starts with us saying, I believe in the type of work that our doctor provides or doctors provide. I know that my doctor is a conservative doctor, and I know that my doctor is going to tell patients exactly the type of work that they do. If you fix that for you guys, I promise you that's the first step to getting more yeses than nos, okay? Because patients can feel that we don't believe in the pricing that we are offering to our patients and that we don't believe in the value for the work that our doctor is doing. So make sure that we don't put our own financial constraints or issues onto our patients, but that we truly, truly believe in the type of work and value our practice provides, okay? Now, if you've been working with us, I already know the type of practice that you are. You are exceptional. Guys, you do things that other practices in your area doesn't do. And most importantly, you have a team that other practices don't. You have you guys, right? You're exceptional. You go above and beyond. Guys, will people pay more to guarantee that they're going to have an exceptional experience? Well, the math's already been done for us. The research has already been done. Studies show that 90% of people will either pay more, travel further, or wait longer if they have a guaranteed exceptional service. Guys, that's so powerful. So as long as you're doing those things, it doesn't matter the cost of the type of work that you're providing. You have to articulate the value back to the patient. Now, clinical team, hopefully you have done such an amazing job setting our front office team up for success, building rapport, building authority for the doctor. Doc, hopefully you didn't overeducate the patient. We kept it simple. We gave them a couple different solutions. We met them where they are. We found out their goals, their why, all those things, right? Now, we have them up front with us and we're going through some financial options with the patient. One of my favorite tools for overcoming these objections is feel, felt, found. If a patient looks at a treatment plan and is like, there's no way I can afford that, one of the best things you could do is say, I understand how you feel. Honestly, many patients have felt just like you, but found they were so glad that they started somewhere, or they were so glad that we met them where they are and we found solutions together. Now, this is where it's really important to have some additional tools and resources in your pocket, okay? So your practice should have some sort of in-house membership plan. You should have some sort of financing plan. Now, I've seen it across the board. I've seen everything from Care Credit to Cherry to an in-house plan where the doctor's fine kind of footing the bill for the patient and doing almost like an internal bank where the patient's able to set up multiple payment options and pay over a period of time. I don't love that, to be honest with you, but I've seen it, okay? I've also seen if the patient's not in a lot of discomfort, and they're able to push off treatment for a little bit, doing like a layaway plan. I don't know, for some of you young folks that are watching, you might be like, what the heck is layaway? Well, it was a thing back in probably the 90s where you could say, okay, I wanna buy these things, but I can't afford it yet. And so you would pay money towards it until the full bill was paid, and then you would take them back, okay? And then you'd get to take it home. And it was great, except for credit card companies figured out that they made more money by letting you take it now because there's the emotion there of, hey, I want this thing now, and then they charge you a higher interest rate on the back end. Another conversation for another day. This is not a financial talk, but it was a great concept and it allowed people to get somewhere further. So thinking about that, a great way to overcome those financial objections is to offer the in-house membership plan. An in-house membership plan I really love because you can do a special discount for any sort of services that are outside a typical either hygiene visit or a peri-maintenance visit in your practice. And so you could do, I've seen it from 10, 15, and even up to 20%. Every practice is different and we'd have to look at that with you guys, but doing a percentage off of any service within the practice. Guys, it's not an insurance plan. It's better than an insurance plan. Why? Because the patient doesn't have waiting periods. They don't have missing tooth clauses. They don't have downgrades. And then most importantly, they don't have the insurance company who's like, oh, well, we decided not to pay for that because you didn't provide us with enough notes about why that patient needed that. Guys, in-house membership plans allow you and allow your patient to control the type of dentistry that they want without being dictated by the insurance. So if you don't have that, I would highly recommend that for you. Reach out to us if you need some guidance on an in-house membership plan. I know there's tons of options out there, but quite frankly, you guys, if you have the right system and process, you can control the in-house membership plan in your office without having to outsource it to a third party, okay? Guys, keep those revenues in your practice. But if a patient is struggling and they don't have a way to move forward, guys, meet them where they are and don't put dollars into the patient's head. So maybe a patient comes in and they need a crown and maybe they're a cash pay patient and their total out of pocket for that is going to be, let's just keep it simple. Let's say it's $1,000 and the patient's like, oh gosh, I can't do that. And maybe your practice, you guys don't have an in-house lab and that's okay. So they're gonna do a prep appointment and then a seat appointment, okay? So it's a 2-part appointment. One of the best type of financial plans that I love to do is when that's the case, so the patient has to come back 2 different times, say, Susie patient, did you wanna pay for all of this up front or would it be better if we split this over 3 payments? You would pay a third today, a third at your first appointment, and the final third at your final visit. See, that's a great place to start with your patient. And if the patient's like, honestly, I don't know if I can do that. Guys, it's okay. Ask them this important question. Susie patient, that's okay. I know every patient has different situations. What could you do today? Sometimes I'm surprised at patient answers. Sometimes patients will actually say more than we think. And so you never put a dollar in their head. Maybe the patient says, I can do $100 today. Great. Well, let's do this. Let's go ahead and collect $100. Now, your appointments, I am gonna split them up, obviously, because you'll come in for the prep day. The doctor's gonna prepare the tooth. You're gonna leave with a temporary that day, and then we're gonna schedule your final seat. So that's the final delivery of your new beautiful tooth, your beautiful crown. That'll be pushed out about 3 to 4 weeks, depending on your lab, right? I heard 4 weeks, and I was like, oh, that's a really long time. It really should be about 2 to 3 weeks. If not, then you might need a new lab. So then you can create a payment plan just for that patient. Guys, meet the patients where they are. Every patient has different financial needs and obligations. Ask them what they can do. Again, you might be surprised. Patients might pay something today simply for booking, which I love, and I love collecting deposits anyway for appointment. Why? Because I believe your guys' time is valuable. And if a patient says, I really can't do any of these things, and maybe they don't qualify for an outside financing company, put them in your treatment tracker, which we'll talk about on another date. We'll have a whole video on the treatment tracker. But guys, have a process to follow up with that patient, okay? And then make sure that you're bringing that up at their next appointment if they haven't moved forward with that. As always, guys, if you need help, reach out to us. Otherwise, we can't wait to see you and serve you soon.